The blade of frontiers at your calling.
¿Y cómo es que has acabado persiguiendo diablos a los infiernos?
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing.
¿Y cómo se supone que has llegado hasta los infiernos?
A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
Dime, ¿cómo llegaste a ser del filo de las fronteras?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
Así que le salvaste la vida. Debes estar orgulloso.
Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
¿Fue así como perdiste el ojo?
It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Pues basta, tenemos delante a los dos que mandamos de la absoluta. Vamos a ignorarlos un poquito, que no quiero ayudarles. ¡Ay! Mira lo que tenemos aquí, un perrillo. Vamos a intentar acariciarlo. A ver el collar, si tiene dueño.
You see a name etched into the leather. Scratch.
Rasca. Tranquilo, Rasca, no voy a hacerte daño. Eres un buen perro, tranquilo.
With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head.
Era tu dueño, no el que está ahí. Tranquilo, ven, conte conmigo, anda.
He whines, but remains rooted by the corpse's side.
Vamos a acercarle la mano para ver si nos puede seguir luego al campamento. Sí, me da que tu antiguo dueño no va a despertar, lo siento. Según el mapa, por esta zona nos podemos encontrar a Karlach. ¡Mírala! ¡Sí está aquí!
One horn, the stink of Avernus. Advocatus diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The blade of frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Eres la diablesa Karlach, ¿verdad?
Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the blade of frontiers, but
A great heat roars through you, her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the blood war. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She's a victim of the blood war, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Para Wyll, has visto lo mismo que yo. Ella no es mala.
Wyll catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Pero lo has visto, ella no es una diablesa.
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are...
Soy Lady Gek, encantada.
Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. Turns out, I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called Paladines of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going.
Pues si te están persiguiendo, vamos a mandarlo de vuelta.
Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by their short hairs. Sound good?
Me parece un buen plan.
I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. So, Wyll, now that we've made peace, how about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime. And I've played my part all too poorly.
¿Qué se supone que significa eso?
Go on. We're listening.
It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up.
You make it sound like a harvest of devils coming for your throat.
You're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted. And I'll face my penance.
¿Cómo? ¿Debería preocuparme, Wyll?
You're not in any danger, I promise.
No, me
I
preocupo por
can't
ti.
say the same about me.
Esto suena muy raro. Pero bueno, ya tenemos a Karlach en el equipo. Así que están metidos aquí en esta casa.
Keep that beast away from us, you hear?
Me, the beast? Now that's fucking rich.
Vale, no se llevan bien.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
¿Estará diciendo la verdad?
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Basta de tonterías, sabemos quién eres.
Enough. Enough. I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
The furnace was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
Y otra vez a pelearse con todo el mundo.
I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
¿Cómo eres capaz de soportar tanto calor?
Honey, I could go all night. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close till I've found a way to calm it down.
¿Cómo puedes tener un motor por corazón?
High pain tolerance and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those Paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
Nosotros lo conocimos, es Damon. Está en la arboleda.
A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out. A tune-up would do this rusty heart a world of good.
Bueno, vamos a explorar un poco la zona, que, madre mía, aquí un desastre. Sí, algo por aquí peligroso. Uy, aquí parece que hay como un pueblito o algo.
It looks healthy, but it's stone dead.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on. We'll never fix these brainworms if we stop and gawk at every piece of carrion you find.
Pero es un poco raro. Vamos a examinarlo.
The boar seems to be fresh, only a few hours dead. Examining the corpse, you see 2 small puncture wounds in its neck.
And is it dead enough for you?
A ver, un poco sospechoso. ¿Sabes algo, verdad?
It's been drained of blood with wounds in its neck. It's been killed by a vampire. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to worry you. They are ferocious creatures. But don't worry. I'll keep watch tonight. We won't have to worry about nocturnal visitors. Now please, let's go.
Pues sí, primero los renacuajos, la absoluta, goblins y ahora vampiros. Bueno, pero un pueblito, ¿pero qué ha pasado aquí? ¿Está todo destruido?
Keep pushing! Duque Ravengar could be inside. On count of 3. 1, 2.
Ravengar? He's here.
Yes. Now make yourself useful. Push, damn it, push!
Venga, vamos a ayudar. Así se hace, que no sabéis.
Inside! Hurry! We don't have much time!
Rápido, hay que rescatar al duque. ¡Vamos!
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
Sí, mejor cuando salgamos de aquí.
Councillor Floric, are you all right?
Wyll, by the living gods, I couldn't have asked for a finer savior. Scorched throat. A few hairs singed off. Nothing a bit of time and fresh air can't cure. Gauntlet, a new duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Older Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Report to the Manor and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
On your command, Councillor.
No, it can't be. You mean they've taken my...
Yes, Wyll. The Drow have your father.
¿Cómo? Wyll, ¿cómo que eres el hijo del duque?
The circumstance of my birth is no matter of pride for neither me nor my father. But pride is no reason to refuse help to my own flesh and blood. How can we help?
Rescue Ravengard from his Drow captors. Baldur's Gate needs him now more than ever.
Trust us to see it through, Counselor.
Ravengar, ese nombre me suena.
A champion indeed. He's the invisible force holding Baldur's Gate together. Without him, the city faces collapse. In fact, I fear that may have been the intention of those who abducted him.
Entonces lo rescataremos, te lo prometo.
Thank you. When the Grand Duke returns to the city, he'll hail his only son a hero. Go.
You should pick up the drow trail with ease. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can.
Remember, Wyll, courage is found in the battle against fear, not in the defeat of it.
So Father said. I won't soon forget.
Fist to work.
Shit. You can put distance between you and yesterday, but you'll never leave it fully behind. Father's words. Hard to argue with them. Floric spoke true. I'm a Grand Duke's son.
Well, he's not just any Grand Duke. He's Duque Ravengar, the most influential Duke in the city.
Entonces está claro, tenemos que ir a rescatarlo.
Thank you. That means a lot. But I wonder, what makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the drow? Even the houses of Men's Oberanzen would have little use for my father. No, this is no drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Wyll Ravengar, a memory of a memory, a man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
La absoluta esa está metida en todos lados, por lo que parece. Pero me da que por ahí no vamos a dormir, que aunque no lo hayáis visto, hemos tenido unos cuantos combates y estamos un poquito destrozados.
I'm so glad I found... Wait! I'm Alfira, a bard from the Grove. I don't mean any harm.
Alfira? Encantada.
I know who you are. How could I not? You're all anyone in the Grove talks about. That's why I'm here. When I'd heard what you'd done, it inspired me. Made me feel brave again. I want to join you. To fight by your side. I want to help people. As you've helped us.
¿Estás segura? Vamos a vivir muchos peligros.
I've been running since ENTRE. And when we finally arrived at the Grove, we found danger there too. Unless I hide away from the world, I can't avoid it. So I'd rather face it head on. With you.
Pues muy bien, otra más para el campamento.
Really? Just like that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Really? Just like that? All right. But if she reaches for that loot, it's firewood.
I won't let you down. I promise.
Muy bien, ahora tenemos a Alfira aquí con nosotros.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches.
Vamos a intentar recordar qué ha pasado. Pues va a ser que no.
The throbbing in your skull will hardly let you think, let alone remember.
¿Algo en los alrededores?
There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. And your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business?
No, no puede ser. Esto no lo podemos hacer nosotros. No, no puede ser, no.
Another explanation will arise. You should face the problem at hand. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Vamos a intentar ocultar el cadáver? Oh, mierda.
Her guts start to spill and flow everywhere as you shift her.
Nah, mejor a dormirte que sí.
You wonder if your misdeed will be noticed.
Gods! What the hell is this? Were you involved in this?
A ver, no estoy segura, pero creo que sí.
It doesn't exactly take the Fist's best detectives to see that. You're covered in her insides. But why?
No lo sé, si es que me desperté y de repente estaba todo así.
Maybe it's the parasite. Messing with your head like.
The worm in your head has never slept more peacefully. You know in your heart it was something deeper. Hungrier.
No lo sé muy bien. Puede que sí, puede que no.
I guess it's the worm. But we can't have this in our camp, got it? Never again. Never, ever.
An uneasy feeling lingers in the air. As the Inquisition departs, you are left alone with a familiar headache.
Prometo que nunca más voy a volver a perder el control y voy a salvar a la próxima víctima.
Every one of your instincts screams against the saccharine thought. You feel close to fainting again.